Recording. I'm going to hide my video so that whatever I do doesn't distract you. And you're recording, so anytime you want to start, I would introduce yourself and then go.
Okay. So, hey guys, my name is Tucker Wells, and what I do is I enhance lives through building relationships with college students. And in my life, I've always been a social character. I learned that from my mom at an early age. My mom was a kindergarten teacher, and that's what she does. She enhances lives through teaching. My dad is a medical salesperson, and he enhances lives through selling medical equipment. My grandparents are the same. They enhance lives through teaching. They've been golf teachers. And I've always been around in my life coaches. And coaches enhance lives through, giving their time to you and showing you the experiences, showing you different kinds of knowledge that they have learned throughout the years, and by showing you expertise. And throughout the past 20 years, I was a student in the game of teaching, and I was also an athlete. And for the last 22 years, I've been completely coachable. I think that is my number one. What is that word? One characteristic. To be coachable, you have to implement. You have to get feedback. You have to experiment with what works or not. And then you have to go back to your coach and say, hey, I did this. Where can I improve? And like Muhammad Ali said, is you cannot you have to have someone in the corner looking over your shoulder. And right now, I have started a company called Tucker Wells Get Out. And in this company, I encourage college students to get out, to network, to reach out using a phone, using an email, and to try and shoot people. Reaching for the stars is not what my business is about. My business is kind of practical. What I do is I enhance students' lives by giving them the confidence, giving them the necessary materials, giving them the questionnaires, the platform of how to reach out, what to say, and how to use metaphors in their own life to help get them the job they want, the mentor they want, the coach they want. So that is kind of a brief outline of what my story is. I've always been someone who wanted to take the ladder approach to life. I wanted to get to the top. So what I have done for the last probably 10 years of my life is I've gotten coached in swimming by the top coach in the world. His name is Coley Stickles, and he did not take one day off, and that's what I learned from him. And I also used to train with the best. I've trained with an Olympic record or gold medalist, world record holder, and his name is Roland Schumann. And what he taught me is you need to integrate your life around your passion. My passion for the last 4 years has been connecting with college students. So right now I'm integrating my life into that. Everything is within 2 miles. I live 2 miles away from the college I used to go to. I eat at the dining hall at the college to get my face around so people can see me. I work out at the gym so people can see me. And because health is necessary in my life. It's been for the last 22 years, and I want to keep it that way. So that's health. Wealth I've integrated into my college campus because I've started a business. I speak with students and coach them on how to get to the next level in their job. I went to college to swim. That was my job. I was looking at a swim race from last night, It was August of 2012. And that was a $150,000 race. That race lasted 2 minutes and 8 seconds on the dot. I had I had most likely trained for 30,000 hours for that race. And what I learned from that is that I became an expert through those 20 to 30,000 hours of practice and commitment, time and energy spent in the swim pool, out of the pool, on my body, health wise. And when I looked at that race today with a different mindset, I thought to myself, wow, that really was a $150,000 race. I was I was lucky enough to get. I wasn't lucky. I was fortunate enough to get a scholarship to Southern Methodist University in Dallas, Texas, and that's when everything changed. So my story coming out of high school, I actually got kicked out of high school for posting an inappropriate tweet. I said I can roll the best. Anyways, I was smoking weed, doing stuff that I shouldn't have been doing. My school found out, and one door closed. That next week, I went on a recruiting trip to Duke, and I was told I was enough. I got into Duke University, which is one of the best universities, after getting kicked out of high school. So I knew nothing was holding me back from accomplishing getting a scholarship to a Division I swim school. And so when I went to Duke, I realized I was enough, and I didn't let that little setback hold me back from accomplishing my dreams. Fast forward a month later, I ended up placing top 8 in nationals in swimming, and I had a coach help me get there. He always believed in me. He got my mind right. And then I came to SMU for a recruiting trip, Southern Methodist University in Dallas. They had a beautiful outdoor facility, and I could feel it. I knew it was right. I got offered a scholarship. However, to look back 2-3 years, I did make the right decision, but I would have done stuff a little bit differently with my swim coach. He didn't have a vision that aligned with me, and that was the biggest problem. I needed someone who had a vision that aligned with my vision, and that was to get to the top. Since he was not a top swim coach, he did not recruit the top athletes in the world. I was a big fish in a small pond, and I needed to be a small fish in a big pond. I have a very competitive nature, competitive drive. The incentives were to get a full scholarship. So after a year, I was the top swimmer on the team, and I asked my coach, "Hey man, like I want a full scholarship." And he said, "All right, Tucker, you got to place top 2 at conference championships." And so that was my goal, to place, or it was top 3, to place top 3. And so I spent that year grinding. I woke up 30 minutes before practice every day, did some extra abs, did some extra push-ups, did what I knew I needed to get to the next level. I needed to put in that extra work that my teammates weren't putting in. I knew I needed to put in that extra work in my body to know I needed that extra fuel, that lettuce. And I knew I needed to put in that extra work in school. I got tutored. There was one specific subject, writing, where I really needed help in. And that was the only C I ever got in college. And to look back on that, I was using someone else's words. I wasn't coming up with my own ideas for those papers. And ultimately in life, you need to come up with your own ideas. You need to know why you're doing something. Because I got that C in school because my ideas were fake. They weren't real. Um, and I was able to get so far in swimming because that was my passion. I got to the top 1%, and now my goal is to get to the top 1% in business. Um, so after graduating from school, I took a few jobs. I took 7 jobs actually, and I took those jobs because my swim coach, he said to me, Tucker, after my sophomore year when I placed top 3, I asked him, "Hey Eddie, like I placed top 3. We made an agreement on getting a boost in my scholarship." And he said to me, "Tucker, would you try harder if you had that money?" And I said, "Coach, I just put in all that work, all that time before and after practice in my health to get that scholarship that we handshake deal on." And he said, "You know what, Tucker, I gave it away." And I said, "Wow, okay." Um, and my mindset changed. I realized that, okay, well, I have to somehow pay $30,000 for school. I need to get a job. So that door closing on that extra full ride scholarship made me realize that I need to start doing something else. So I kept my scholarship. I kept swimming. I had that $30,000 a year weight off my back, and I started becoming very interested in the real estate club. I got out and I found something that interested me. And so when I was in the real estate club, I went to all the events. I was very active. I became really good friends with the director of the institute, Tasha Mulray, and she helped me learn how to reach out. And that's kind of where my life has gotten to right now. In the last 2 years, I've spent $30,000 or more going to training seminars, on books, flying across the country to meet with authors, going to meet Forbes Riley at the 10X Growth Con in Las Vegas, and then actually signing up for a program and going to St. Petersburg, Florida, where I had a life-changing event in my life take place. I met 20 to 30 people who will keep me accountable in my dreams. And my story in the last 3 months has been one of a kind. I have been able to make my first sale. I've started a business. I have the confidence to reach out to some of the most successful people, and I have my story concise and brief enough so in the first 90 seconds I can sell myself and get a meeting with them. So in the last 2 years, I've accomplished so much. I've been courageous. I haven't had fear, and what I want to do is I want to help people who are in my same position. I want to help them implement that in their life through my stories. So that's kind of my story.
Shoot. Okay. I'm here.
All right.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I will now send that off. I can stop recording. Hold on, because I don't want him to